What is going on, wrestling world? This is the new Beyond the Kayfabe channel on YouTube. Now, we have been in part of the wrestling community for a while now, but we're going to go ahead and test the waters on a new platform through the live stream through YouTube. I'm your co-host, Dan the Man Boxing. That's right. You guys know me, Dan the Man Boxing. I do cover boxing, but I also cover wrestling as well. Pro wrestling, that is, and also the indie wrestling circuit as well. So with my co-host, we got ILYA on board. What's going on, ILYA?
What's up, everyone, and welcome once again to Beyond the Kayfabe. I can't believe it's back. And this man right here, we're paired back together. He used to be called Daniel MS. Now you're Dan the Man Boxing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm new to the YouTube streams, but Daniel here was kind enough to bring me on board, and I'm on YouTube, I'm on Google, whatever this platform is. We were working out technical issues, but we're finally here. And even though I'm new to the platform, I'm not new to broadcasting, as Daniel knows. We did Beyond the Kayfabe for quite a few years, huh, Dan?
Yes, sir, indeed, man. That was quite a few long time ago. But hey, it seemed like yesterday, man. There was some good times there. Of course, we all have to, have other things going on in our lives, but we're back.
Oh, yeah.
We're back.
Yeah,
The thing is that we still had the passion for the sport. Despite that, we still tuned into it. We saw a lot of things that progressed over the years with the sport. A lot of drastic changes. Something I didn't expect to happen, but but it's good for the best, So
yeah, there's been many changes. It's been about 2-3 years since Beyond the Kayfabe's been here, but it's back. It's back in a different form. There's no commercials. There's no music right now. We're kind of new to I'm kind of new to the editing process. Daniel's getting me a little bit acquainted with the chat, but the passion for the business is still there, and the itch to talk about it is there. And yes. I'm not like Sean. I can't stay away. I get that itch, and there's so much going on that we should just get right into it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first things first, let's talk about a few things here. The WWE releases. The one that stood out to me most is Emma. I'm sure it stood out to you as well. Emma was
completely out of the blue.
That was completely out of the blue. And this is all right. This is what caught a lot of people wondering, scratching their heads and raising their eyebrows, wondering what's going on here, because Emma was, she programmed Asuka for 2 matches, one at TLC and then the next night on Raw. And as as some of observers would say, that Emma was actually, like the offense, she applied most of the offense against Asuka. Now, if they were to release her, because this seems like according to the reports from Sports Illustrated, they were planning to release her for quite some time now. If they were planning to release her, why didn't they have Emma just go ahead and put Asuka over in the squash match? 2 of them. Why couldn't they just do that? That I don't understand. And from another observation, if you're going to have her program Asuka like that, we put on some good matches that lasted about what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then all of a sudden you abruptly release her. That makes no sense. I mean, what do you think about that?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, Emma was really way back when with Paige. Right. I don't know if everybody remembers this, but she was really the one that really kind of ignited the women's revolution back in NXT. It was Emma, it was Paige, before the Charlottes, before the Sasha Banks, before the Baileys. Those girls followed. Right. Very talented, out with an injury, and then coming back with this Emelina thing that was, I think it was, what was it, like 8 months that they plugged this, and then they just kind of had her go out there and kind of humiliated her and saying that Emelina's changing back to Emma. It was just a mess, and you could see Vince's fingerprints all over that. But nevertheless, a very talented athlete. I think she wasn't quite over. Like something didn't click. With the fans, and apparently, judging by Leo Rush's comments, which were kind of people glared their eyes at that, but I guess she wasn't too popular backstage either. And wasn't she dating one of Zack Ryder, or isn't she currently dating Zack Ryder?
No. I don't think it was Zack Ryder. I forgot the guy's name. Damn, it's on top of my head. I can't think of it.
I could have swore she was dating Zack Ryder. And by the way, there are some rumors that Zack is next on the chopping block,
Yeah,
even though he's been
there's
around
some next
forever.
round of cuts that's about to happen. He's expected to get it. I think who else is on that list? Dolph Ziggler was rumored to have to be
Oh
coming.
well,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think they'll let him. By the way, the match, not to get too off topic because we're going to cover this a little later, but the match between Roode and Ziggler on SmackDown was really good.
Oh yeah, I
Very
did
good
catch
match.
that, man. That was a damn good match. I mean, every Bobby Roode match that you see, or even a Dolph Ziggler match that you're gonna get a good.
That guy's a workhorse. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm talking about Ziggler. I don't know why he doesn't kind of verbalize, speak up. You know,
Right.
he's been there so long, and he's you know, athletically in the ring. I would put him uh, close to Shawn. I mean, he's definitely not equals all around
Right.
as Shawn, but he just reminds me of Shawn, and I don't know. It just
Well,
kind of it's just kind of strange that he can't do what Shawn did, which is kind of forces Vince's hand eventually and just step up. Because
well, I just
honestly, I don't even know if he's going to be in any pay-per-views moving forward the rest of the year, because he's definitely not going to be part of that Survivor Series team.
no, he's not, and I think what it is too is that over the years they try to push him, they try to give him a big push. It wasn't quite well respected, recepted. I mean, yeah, when his first time he was a world champion, yes, he was awarded the title, then lost to the Edge that very night. Then when he got the run, when he won Money in the Bank, and then he cashed in and became the world champion, which is the rightful thing to do to get put the guy over. I think the runs were very disappointing, and people weren't quite receptive to it. And I think what he lacked over the years is his in ring, and his mic skills, obviously, in his in ring, and his charisma. His charisma
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really quite there. I mean, it's like it almost got to that point, then it fell flat. You know what I mean with him? And I
Mm-hmm.
respect
Mm-hmm.
what he does in the ring. He's a tremendous talent. The guy's a workhorse, as you say, very good technical wrestler.
He's
But
even gotten better promo wise. He can cut a promo, and I don't like the fact that they're giving him this weird gimmick, because I don't know, I don't see it really going anywhere with the cutting, the music. I mean, at first it was interesting, but you know, coming out with all the different entrances, but now they're just cutting the music, and that's as far as this gimmick goes. He's still kind of the same guy, really.
right, yeah, I mean, he's still the same guy. I mean, yeah, I would have to retract a little bit, recant a little bit. Yeah, he definitely got better at promos, but he still, to me, is kind of lacking the charisma. That's just one thing that's
Mm-hmm.
been his Achilles heel is his charisma, man. And I hate to see him go. I hope they give him another title push, but I don't see that happening.
That's the thing. Like, if I were him, I would go.
Uh,
If I were him, I would. How long's he been there? 15 years, and he's not really anywhere. He's a guy that puts new guys over, but and feuding with guys like Nakamura and Rude, which is really good.
right.
Um, a really good hand to have for the company. But if he, like I said, if he had that a little bit of that rebellious nature, such as Shawn or CM Punk, he'd probably be out of there for a few years. But or even a Cody Rhodes. Look at Cody.
Yeah.
Look at how Cody, you know, he wouldn't stick around and be stardust and be underutilized for that long. He took his ball and he made a name for himself elsewhere. And I think that's kind of a strategy that Ziggler could have done a few years back. And
Yeah.
well, I think that's part of the reason that he's where he
Well,
is now.
yeah, you make a good point, but there's a difference
Kind of
between
comfortable.
Dolph Ziggler and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels actually was a damn good performer, number one. And number two, Shawn Michaels actually can draw heat from the crowd, and he can be a babyface, he can be a heel. He was just too damn good. And when they wanted to fire him, they fired him. But when they realized they needed him to come back, they needed him to come back. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Shawn Michaels was in a position where the company relied on him, even though he was a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? And most
Well,
people.
I'm not saying this is exactly the same situation. I just mean the rebellious nature of a
Right,
Shawn, of a Punk, of an Alberto Del Rio. I'm not saying he's the same level of Shawn. Of course he isn't. But
right.
they kind of sacrificed that comfort zone where Ziggler is, where
Right.
he's not quite where he wants to be. Obviously, he's not where he wants to be, but he sticks around for the paycheck,
Right.
as opposed to going elsewhere, maybe getting a little less money, but making the E realize that they're really missing out.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
really a void.
Yeah. I think they should have gave him more. They should have been more confident in his title when they gave him that push that second time around when he became the world champion. I think they should have relied on him as one of their main event guys, but I
Yeah,
think
they
it's
don't even
really,
recognize that. That was ages ago. But
yeah. I mean, it's funny though. Pretty much whoever won that world title, it's like whoever won that world title down the stretch before they phased it out and they consolidated, as you want to call it, which now they split it
mhm,
up to get into something else. But the thing
mhm.
is that whoever won that world title, they looked at them as a second tier champion, kind of like an Intercontinental or U.S. champion style, of a world champion.
And who
I mean,
knows? Maybe it would be a good thing if he leaves for a while. Look at Batista. Look at a guy like Batista. He made a name for himself. He's one of the biggest movie stars. Really, he's not quite the same level as a guy like The Rock, or maybe he's. I think he's ahead of John Cena though. Look at Batista.
right.
He's been in bigger movies than John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, he has. He has. It's funny too. Yeah, he has. So,
But
yeah, I
enough
mean,
about Ziggler.
it's possible. I mean, he has a lot of options. I mean, when he leaves, he's got a lot of. I'm sure he's got a lot of money saved up. He's
Oh
invested
yeah.
well with his money, and he doesn't really have to do anything for a while. I mean, if he does get let go, he gets let go. He could just take a 5 months off, to
Hmm.
recover from his wounds and his injuries over the years, all the wear and tear that is put on his body when he went out and performed.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's one of those
And
guys.
he does enjoy other things. He performed some comedy out here in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's fine, man. The guy's got side projects elsewhere, kind of like CM Punk in a way. CM Punk has side projects. He invested well in his
Hmm.
money, so when he left, so
Dolph Ziggler.
not just all. I'm talking about CM Punk, CM
Oh,
and
we're talking about CM Punk now.
yeah. I'm just saying in a way, if Dolph Ziggler does get the boot, he doesn't have nothing to be a worry about. He'll be fine. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? It will open up the door down the road that they will welcome back. Because usually when guys get released and they leave on good terms,
Oh yeah.
they will bring him back. And I think he's been on good terms with them, despite the
And of
criticism.
course, speaking of that, they're not using a worker like Dolph Ziggler in
Yeah,
Survivor Series, but they are using Shane McMahon, who is a part timer. He's not a performer, and
yeah,
he should be selling his injury. He just fell off the cell again, and they're
yeah.
not even mentioning that he's back in the ring at Survivor Series. So
Oh yeah, that's
are
crazy.
they really under? Is the roster really that thin that they have to reuse them? I mean, I would kind of even compare the risk of Shane wrestling on a semi-regular basis as Daniel Bryan. They're both not um, regular competitors anymore, and
Yeah.
things happen, and I just don't
Well,
understand their thinking by making him the captain.
Well, it all goes to the writing team. Of course, Shane and Stephanie kind of oversees what they do creative, and I mean, Stephanie to me, I know we kind of get sidetracked a little bit. Stephanie to me has no business overseeing creative, man. She has no business doing that. I think she should let
Well,
her.
it's not just her, but
Yeah,
she
Vince is.
definitely has a big say.
Yeah, but Vince has the final say so. So everything is. It's like a filter, like it was
We got
back then.
Michael Hayes, who has had a track record of good ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
I
know
mean, he
who
has a
else
good
we have
track
in there
record.
right now. Help me out with that.
Nah, it's pretty people are pretty novice when it comes to this business. The writers that they hire, they hire people who are like from what I've heard, they're like former screenwriters and stuff like that. They hire those type of people who have no idea about the wrestling business, like Freddie Prinze Jr., for example, who was on that creative team for a
Is he
long
even still
time.
there?
Nah, I
No,
think
he's
he
not there
left.
anymore.
No, he's not there no more. But guys like him, no disrespect to Freddie Prinze Jr., but I mean, people like that is like, okay, they don't have no experience in the business. Why would you hire people like that to write the storylines and book the matches, etc.
Well, how do you think things are? How do you think things are storyline wise right now? I think it's getting a little bit better.
Well, it's getting a little bit better. I mean, it's getting there. I mean, but SmackDown's always
The
been
fact that they had Triple H joined the Shield just makes no sense at all.
I don't
Since he was
understand
feuding with
that.
Rollins.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Where they're going with that, I don't know. I mean, they got Triple
Well, it
J.
wasn't televised.
Yeah, that's true. They got Triple H wrestling part time, off, dark matches and stuff like that. What's the point of that? I don't understand.
Well, to
You
fill in
know,
for Reigns, basically.
yeah, Reigns is what is he like out? Did he fail a drug test or he out with an injury?
He has the mumps.
I'm sorry. Oh, he has the what now?
The mumps. It's a viral infection.
Ah, yikes! The mumps. Oh yeah. Ugh. Hope
Just
he
like
recovers.
I think Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, is back. Actually, we've seen him
Yeah,
on Raw, but Bray is still out with an infection.
no, yeah, he was actually on Raw like this week with the Miz and
Which is why we had the Styles Balor match, which was probably better than we would have experienced with that Wyatt Sister Abigail match that was planned.
yeah. I mean, Ben Balor, for God's sakes, man, why don't they just give him the push again? Give this guy the world title push again. I mean, he's over with the crowd. Of course, he didn't never lose that. He never lost that title in the ring. Why don't they just give this man the main event push? What's up? Why is Vince ain't high on the guy? I don't get it. What's going on with
Right.
Vince? His way of thinking, man. The guy's over. I mean, okay, his mic skills is okay. That's questionable, fine. But the fact that the guy's over, he can perform good. He gives all-star matches every single time. Give the guy his push again. Give him the Universal title again. I don't understand this situation with him, man. It's disgusting.
We're talking about Balor?
Yeah, we're talking about Balor. They killed his demon character too, man. We talked about this offline once. I just don't understand that. They just need to bring that persona back. I know they'll only allow him to use it only on special occasions, but to me, no, I don't understand that. But I mean,
Yeah, they just can't hold themselves. Vince has a track record of hot shotting a lot, and we are seeing a difference from Vince booking him versus Triple H booking him,
right?
Because that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But he's still pretty fresh, I think.
Right.
I think he's got a lot of traction ahead. The fact that he got choke slammed by Kane and they made him look a little weak. I think what it is this is Kane's last run. They're just having Kane destroy everyone. This is where I think it's going until they get to Strowman, and then Strowman will kind of be, leading Kane out the door, and Kane will be focusing on his political career as is widely known. He is running for mayor, and if he wins that, I don't see him really returning after this. So this is kind of, I think this is kind of it for him.
Yeah, man. Speaking of Strowman, we'll get to him in a second. We kind of got sidetracked here. I want to get back to Emma real quickly because
not just Emma.
Yeah, just Emma too. And here's what according to Sports Illustrated, I'm gonna go ahead and read this for you right here. This is the report I read. It says here, as noted, WWE announced on Sunday that they parted ways with Emma Summer Rae, which is no surprise. They haven't used her in a long time, unless she's on Total Divas. And
nobody cares, and I never understood what they saw in her. But
yeah, she just couldn't. She just wasn't. She's not a wrestler. That's not her. It's not her cup of tea. I mean, hey, part ways. Look, nobody really cares. Yeah. And Darren Young. Darren Young. They had him on the show for a long time, so it is what it is. So Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated had reports that Emma's departure had been in the works for quite some time now because she had significant heat with company officials. Now, the doors reportedly remain open for Emma to return down the line, but some see her departure as an addition by subtraction in the locker room. Now, Emma reportedly created a lot of enemies on the writing staff and made those issues worse when the way she spoke out on Twitter. I mean, hey, she's not the only one. Sasha Banks has been doing it a lot, and so a lot of people have been doing it. Who else? Neville. We all know about that story. But let me get back to Emma. Now, Emma did have much respect for it did have much respect as an in-ring performer, which is true, as any other female superstars in the locker room, where her release sent the message to the locker room. And the decision to release Emma and Young and Summer Rae reportedly came on Friday during Mrs. McMahon's as a routine budget meeting. So the superstars were told on Sunday before they would need to be flying out for work on Monday. WWE then made the announcement on their website and social media accounts. So this goes back to the Emmalina situation. I think that's the last straw that broke the camel's back. with creative. I mean, let's be honest. Emma wasn't the only one who protested that situation. A lot of her fans, a lot of WWE fans were pissed off about that. It's like, why would you recreate something that was already working? Her heel gimmick is, the person coming out with the sunglasses, had the mean streak. You
Yeah.
know, that worked, man. That put her over amongst everybody. But
Well, that was they kind of admitted the mistake, right? When they kind of they made her kind of humiliate herself, but they kind of admitted that Emelina's done and Emma's back, and it just made no sense at all, and everybody was left shaking their heads.
right, everybody's shaking their heads. I mean, first of all, look, yeah, you go out there and let her humiliate herself. Of course, nobody was going to be receptive to it. But the fact is that what was the point of that? And I know Vince McMahon was behind that gimmick, and his hands was written all over it. Of course, he didn't want to take responsibility for that. Responsibility for that. I mean, it was stupid. It was stupid to recreate her like that. It was dumb. But of course, like I said, she's not the only one that voices out on Twitter about the creative. And Sasha Banks did it recently. Neville did it recently. Of course, that's why he's gone because of the creative situation. Austin Aries is gone too because of that as well, because of creative situation. So,
that's a big lot. I mean, Neville's a big talent. I mean, he wasn't as over as they would have liked as a heel, but he was a phenomenal talent. I mean, the guy could work.
Right.
And he was a great addition to the cruiserweight division. Austin Aries as well. He, for Pete's sake, he kind of messed up his eye. And had a terrible injury and surgery and metal plates in his eye and all this stuff just for the fans and for us. He went through that,
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. So, I mean, the last straw that broke the camel's back with him is that he never got his match on, which is the kickoff show on WrestleMania against Austin Aries. They cut that out off the DVD of WrestleMania, and he was pissed about that because it's not the fact that they didn't show the match on the DVD. It was that he can't get paid on it. So that comes in the royalty fees. He can't get paid on it.
Well, I'm sure it's not just about money. I mean, the guy was put on the pre-show of WrestleMania after working hard all year. That must have already kind of riled him up.
Yeah. No, it was accumulation of everything. He didn't like the way he was packaged as far as the merchandising and marketing is concerned. He didn't like the fact that he was in the cruiserweight division. He felt he was bigger than the cruiserweight division, which I agree because he was way over in that division. So why?
Well, they needed him there, so that's why they put him there.
Right. But it's kind of like a Rey Mysterio situation. Rey Mysterio was too big for that division. What I mean by that, he was way over to be in that division. That's why they took him out, and that's why that division dissolved because of Rey Mysterio. If you think about it. So I mean, not saying it, in a good way, in a bad way, but
I see it a little bit in a different way. It's kind of like either you want this division to work, either it flounders, or you add a name like even an AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And maybe the WWE doesn't consider that a demotion. They actually feel like this is going to raise up this 205 Live division because it's been nothing but a failure, and they're trying so many different things. Now they're already pushing Sin Cara a little bit again, and I don't know if that's probably main roster, not 205. They've got Kalisto in there. They've got Enzo, which he's a very controversial figure, like him or not, or whether the company, obviously he's got actually heat in the company, but they acknowledge the fact that he's a controversial figure and he's over. I think they're trying to lift that up now. Not to get too off rails here, but the way I would work the cruiserweight division is to just have this tournament come back every year and make it a big deal, as opposed to having this 205 Live, because it kind of feels like Sunday Night Heat at the end of the road. That's kind of how it feels, and that's not right to put down all these guys who gets a little respect from Vince.
Right. I mean, that's a good point. Man. But I mean, to be fair though, the cruiserweight division this time around compared to what it was in 2004, 2003, or 2002 was way better now than it was then. I will give them credit for that at least. For enhancing that division. But
let me ask you, do you watch 205 Live?
No, I haven't been able to pay attention to it, man. You know.
That's what I'm saying. And who does?
Yeah, I
And
get it.
that's sad. That's sad for these guys because they're good talents and they're working their butts off.
Well, it's just too many shows, man.
And
That
they're
have.
gonna eventually end up. It's just like it's a filler. They have 3 hours of Raw. Let's put some cruiserweight matches on. I think
Right.
they're doing a lot better with the women's division.
Yeah, they are. They are. They are. They are. Well, you know, the women's division seems to get more over than the men's division in some ways, particularly on SmackDown. So, yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go
Well,
that far,
well, some matches,
but
some matches, not all matches, some matches. But again, some of these women can't really perform to their highest ability because of the writing team on the main shows, on the main roster. And I
mhm.
could go back and say that some of the people who got promoted to the main roster, some of them even complained one time. It's like, look, man, I like the way things worked at NXT than it is at the main roster because I'm limited to what I can do on the main roster. You know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why some of these guys or some of these people who come up to the main roster, they just sometimes they're clueless in the ring because it's not their style of wrestling, So
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is too, we all know. I got to go back to the Emma thing real quickly. We all know that if somebody
Oh
was,
man, you're really on Emma tonight, huh?
yeah, but besides that, I'm not talking about her now. But I'm saying I want to talk about someone who is in connection to this correlation to the situation. Is Leo Rush? You know who he is, right? Leo Rush.
I've gotten to know who he is since the news came out. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, Leo Rush. I mean, he's known on the indie circuit. He was known as CCW, which is Comeback Zone Wrestling over
hmm
there in Jersey. But
Who was he there?
he well he wrestled guys like Joey Ryan and others over there. But we'll
He
talk.
had the same name.
Yeah, he has the same name, Leo Rush. But
hmm
yeah, I'll talk about Joey Ryan for a second. But let me tell you something about Leo Rush. He took it to Twitter, and this is what he said, quote, about the release of Emma. He said here, quote, I guess these are the things that happen when you're truly not ready for Oscar. Whoa. Okay, unless he was in character or he really meant that. But not many
hmm
people took that very well. Rosa Mendez,
No.
who's now retired, told Leo Rush, quote, on Twitter, show some respect, have some class. You work for the same company. I'm so disgusted. Bray Wyatt
hmm
came out and said, well, you ain't gonna make it here in the Wolves with the Wolves, kid, if you get promoted to the main roster. And then Lou Fisto said, laughing at someone who lost their job. Really, classy as fuck. You keep your chin up, Emma. Right? Tessa Blanchard said, tacky. The NXT superstar said, wow, kid, didn't you just get here? I mean, professionalism goes a long, long way. and then Murphy over there, who's engaged to what's her name, Alyssa Bliss, Cam Murphy. I think that's his name. He said here,
hmm
oh Leo, what is going? I mean, that's all he said. Oh Leo.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
based, based off that time, based off the backlash and him being lambasted for for what he said, he put out a long, long, detailed apology. So I mean,
hmm
look, man, you did just get there, Leo. I mean, this is not the first time he's been subject to controversy. The dude is a pretty controversial figure on the indie circuit. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if you know this story. The guy, not too long ago, when he was at CZW over at Combat Zone Wrestling, he was in a match in the table ladder. You could say it was a table ladders chair match over there over there at CZW, right? I think it was against Joey
Right.
Ryan. This
Oh
dude
yeah.
took a power bomb off a 10-foot ladder against Joey Ryan, right? He
hmm
took the power bomb. It looked vicious, man. It was a vicious.
Huh.
Oh no, not Joey Ryan. It was Joey Janela. Joey Janela. It was a ladder
hmm
match, right? So he took the
hmm
vicious power bomb and he landed on the table. Looked like he hit his head on the table, but the dude just popped up and didn't sell that. And people were like, what the? He didn't sell that move, man. Everybody was like,
It was kind of like Kane on Raw last week.
yeah, he did not sell that move, man. When he didn't sell that move, he got lambasted. Everybody came after him for that. It's like, what in the dude? This is professionalism, man. You got to sell the moves, but he wasn't selling the moves. It wasn't in the nature of Lex Luger and what's his name, Bruiser Brody back in '87, that cage match, that infamous cage match. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you could somewhat say that that's being disrespectful to the guy that you're working with inside the ring. I mean, Leo Rush, I think he had issues with ZZW for a while now, and I guess that was like the icing on the cake, what you want to call it. But yeah, the dude. I mean, come on, man. You first of all, if he was high up in the company, I could understand him making a comment like that because he could get away with it.
Well, and I don't think I don't see anybody doing that really.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
like I mean that's like kicking somebody down when they're when they're hurt, man. Why would you do something like that, bro?
I mean, I kind of take that back. There are people who would do it. I mean, look at the things JBL's done and said
Yeah.
in his span. I
Well, it's
mean,
funny though. Yeah, Jack Gallagher, who's the English guy. Did Jack Gallagher get released recently?
did he?
No, is he still there?
I think he's on 205 Live. Yeah.
Okay, well he came out and made a statement. He also came at Leo Rush too, saying, "Well, quote, apologizing because people didn't like your joke, not for joking for someone losing their job, bro. I mean, I also tried English classes at the PC." And Scott Armstrong said, "Class act, my friend. Rookie mistakes are made to learn from." But you know what? William Regal or Steven Regal, or wherever you want to call him, he defended him. So I mean,
Mm.
look, the guy's 22 years old. He made a dumbass mistake. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, though,
Yeah.
man. I mean, WWE has zero tolerance when it comes to things like that, especially with rookies, man. But
Uh,
now to me, I don't know what's going to happen to him now. More likely, he's going to put a lot of guys over at NXT. They might eventually release him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
what is he doing right now over there?
Well, he was actually he put on a very good match against what's his name over there? What who did he wrestle over there? I mean, let me think. Leo Rush. Oh, Velveteen Dream. Yeah, he put on a good match against Velveteen Dream, and then
So you watch NXT on Wednesdays?
sometimes I do. I don't watch it too much, but I do pay attention to people who come out of there. Like you have Ember Moon. I hope she gets promoted. I hope she becomes champion.
She
And
will. She'll get up
she
there.
will. Fate Royce in there over there, and you got
By
Leo.
the way, speaking of the cruiserweight division, I think what I'm hearing is they're planning to send Hideo Itami over there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
which will actually anger a lot of people because this guy was a big deal when he was Kenta.
Right.
And being on the cruiserweight is kind of a demotion in their eyes.
Yeah,
If you look at all the other guys they send there,
yeah, I
because
don't think. I
this
don't
guy
think.
was Shinsuke Nakamura's level before Shinsuke ever got there, and unfortunately he suffered so many injuries and setbacks, and didn't quite click with the crowd until now. Until now, years later, and he's still in NXT. He's kind of not a lucky run for him.
No, no, unfortunately not. I mean, a lot of the injury setbacks that will hinder your chances of getting pushes in the company. That's what happened to Ahmed Johnson back in the Attitude Era. We all remember him, but he kind of,
Well, he
yeah,
did more. I mean, he was on the main roster for a long while.
yeah. Problem is he couldn't stay healthy. He was injured a lot. He was an injury-prone guy. He wasn't safe to work with. He used to beat up a lot of guys. I mean, he used to stiff the hell out of a lot of guys in the ring. That was
Oh
one of the
yeah.
major complaints about
They
him.
really were high on him at one point. I think in '96 they put him in some title matches and they really featured him.
Yeah, I really thought he was one of those guys who should have got a title push.
What
Uh,
even happened to Ahmed Johnson?
well, from the last time I read, he was released. I mean, obviously due to the fact he was an injury-prone guy, but obviously it was
Released
more.
from where? I mean, he was in
Well,
WCW for a minute too, right?
right, right. I was going to get into that. They released him in '97. Then he came into WCW in '90. I think in '99 or 2000. I think it was
Hmm.
in the '99 or 2000. He came in there. He was a tag team guy. He was tag team with Stevie Ray at the Harlem Heat 2000. That's when Booker T went off on his own as a single competitor. He became a world champion. But then after that, he retired from pro wrestling and he became, he gained a lot of weight though, man. He's totally out of shape now. I think he's like
Yeah, yeah, he gained a
so
lot of weight.
yeah, the last time I looked, I checked it out. He was like over 400 pounds. So, hopefully he shed that weight. But
Wow.
but he did go back to school though. He went to go get his degree in criminal justice, and he's doing okay. I mean, from that standpoint, but he also does a lot of shoot interviews these days, and he said that the reason why he left WWE because of the racism that he had to put up with, the stereotypical stuff.
Well, that's not the
That's
first time we hear that. Yeah.
Nah, that's not the first time we heard that about WWE. But let's be fair though, WCW was notorious for that over the years, particularly with the
Oh
Japanese
yeah.
wrestlers. And Sonny Ono at the time, whose company was who signed a partnership deal with WCW at the time. filed a suit against them for discriminations, and that some will argue that's the reason why Booker T became the world champion because of that whole
Isn't that
situation.
why? Isn't that why Lashley left because of some racist stuff?
Well, yeah, Lashley left because of Michael Hayes. That was the reason why he left. Yeah, the racism he had to do.
He just kind of abruptly left. They were kind of giving him a push for a while back in
Yeah.
'07. But I guess he's built back up in Impact Wrestling. Too bad Impact Wrestling isn't really much right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know how the hell the Impact Wrestling or TNA, as I'll still call them, how the hell is TNA still surviving to this day, man? Or
It's not
Impact Wrestling.
GFW anymore. We know
Well,
Anthem totally
yeah, we all know that.
totally went away from that.
Yeah, we all know that. What's his name? What's his name? Jeff Jarrett left the company now. So I mean, Jeff Jarrett just can't.
He's in rehab. I don't know what's going on with him, but good luck to him. You know, he's not in a good place.
Well, I don't know, man. Ever since he ruffled feathers with Vince McMahon, and he kind of stabbed himself in the back, man. I mean, you don't hold a gun to somebody's head and try to hold them from hostage to gain more money out of that situation. I mean, he
You're
shot
talking
himself.
about what happened with Vince McMahon?
Yeah, in '98.
Well, I'm just talking about his alcoholism. I mean,
Well,
I didn't know it was that serious, and
no. I'm just saying. You know, don't sue me. Anybody who's listening to this. I mean, I'm just saying all the issues that led up to that. He had a lot of issues after that whole situation.
oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm
But
not saying.
I just didn't know he was an addict at all.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought he was a clean cut guy, but
Hmm.
sometimes he can be difficult to deal with.
Things
But
can change. Things can definitely change. Just looking at what others have put up with, such as or have been through, such as
yeah,
Scott Hall.
right.
It's a dangerous road to go. So luckily, he's in the WWE sponsored rehab.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, I mean, look, I hope he gets back on his feet. I mean, as far as Impact is concerned, I don't know, man. I don't pay attention to Impact that much. I don't.
That's a big discussion. Really,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
a big discussion.
I know they're on Pop TV, but I'm not even subscribed to Pop TV. I'm not sure anybody is.
It's just I mean, you could really, if you really wanted to watch it, you could find it, but it's just I don't know, it's such a mess. Rockstar Spud got let go from there, and James Storm, he went back to TNA after a short run in NXT, and when he was leaving, actually Triple H told him that they could work something out
Right.
and use him in 2 years, and this January, I believe it's going to be 2 years, and his contract expires in Impact, and so I see him. I don't see him staying over there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Here's the thing, though. These guys bounce back and forth within organizations. I don't know, man. Well, good thing they have the indie circuit because, the indie circuit. Some guys make more money on the indie circuit than they do in the main events. I mean, the mainstream circuit, like the WWE. So, I mean, of course, you call Impact as a mainstream circuit too, but there's no really no
Well, it
money.
depends on name value. They could go to New Japan. Speaking of
Right.
New Japan, Nakamura, he wrestled a lot differently. His style, I feel just like either he's trying too hard to be doing that safe WWE style,
Yeah.
or something's just not clicking there either.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't
you know,
think Vince is high on the guy, and that's why he's been jobbing to all these
it's
guys.
just the matches. The matches are not flowing. I haven't seen an incredible match from him, and I know what he's capable of from back in New Japan.
Well, I think it could be to the fact he's being limited. This is what I'm talking about. Whenever these guys get onto the main event roster, they get limited to the things they can really do in the ring. So I guess he's still trying to figure out the WWE style of wrestling. I mean, I know he's been at the Performance Center for a while, so he should have gotten it by now. But perhaps he's still
People
trying to
make it
figure
work.
out.
People
Yeah,
make it work, but
yeah, people can make it work. It depends who you're with too. Sometimes it's not always him. It's somebody who. It depends who you're working with.
well, he's been paired with a lot of guys, and it's just not the complete. I feel like he's not giving. He's got some a bag of tricks, and he's just not pulling stuff out.
Right. I mean, obviously, yeah, that's what it is. Man. That's probably what it is. That's what it is. But Yeah, man. I mean, I really hope he gets a title push one way or the other because he's over with the crowd. Yes, he cannot speak
Oh
English,
yeah.
but it doesn't matter. People still like the guy. He's well
No,
over.
it doesn't. I mean, back when Chris Benoit wrestled, he didn't speak anything.
Oh yeah, all he did is just kick ass in the ring. That's what Chris Benoit did.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really mention Chris Benoit because that's a stain these days.
Yeah, yeah.
in the in the
You don't know what you'll hear on Beyond the Kayfabe. We should name this free for all because we're just all over the place.
yeah, we are, man. What is this? This is what the live stream is about, man. You know, we're all over the place on it. We can have a live discussion. We can chat.
Do we have a time limit on this thing, or can we keep going?
We can keep going, man.
Oh, good. You want to talk a little bit about Raw?
Yeah, let's talk about Raw for a second, man. Look, I don't.
All right, let me say one thing. All right, go ahead.
No, I was going to say.
Okay.
I do not like this Raw versus SmackDown rivalries. I really don't like this at all, man.
You don't like it?
No, I mean the only good thing out of
it's only once a year.
Yeah, it's once a
Survivor
year.
Series.
It is once a year. I mean, you get to see matches that we're not, we don't get to see often because you have this brand splits and all that. I mean, I think the only way it could work if the brand split, let's say if they did the brand split like they did last year. I think they did last year, the brand split, right? They did the brand split last year, right? If they waited maybe 3 or 4 years later, then it would make sense because you'd be like, okay, it creates a lot of hype, it creates a lot of tensions. We get to see dream matches that we didn't think it was going to happen. You know what I mean? I mean, to some extent, we've already seen these matches happen before. I mean, you got what? We got right now. We got the women's match, the champion versus champion. You got what's her name? Alyssa Bliss and Natalia. They wrestled already. We already seen that match. Why we got to do that? Why we got to go through that again? You know what I mean? Then you got the tag team matches. We've already seen those guys wrestle. I mean, the Shield have the Shield wrestled the Usos. I think they wrestled them before. So we've already seen those matches. I mean, the only thing we have not seen is Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal. So I know I'm getting off the topic like that. That's why I have to really point that out.
Well, I don't know if this rendition of the Shield has wrestled the Usos, or either they haven't, or it's been so long. But I think that has the possibility of being a really great match, like the best one on the card, you know. And of course, having Angle in there, is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, you know. If he doesn't, according to the storyline, if he doesn't prevail for Team Raw, he loses his job. Stephanie McMahon is going to, she's going to, what's the word I'm looking? Yeah, she's going to relieve him. She's going to fire him. So obviously, that's what's. I mean, okay, unless that they're going to angle him to come back as a full-time wrestler.
It's leading to a match. It's leading to a match with Triple H, is what it's leading to.
Yeah, you think he's going to wrestle Triple H?
At WrestleMania, yes.
I heard it was going to be The Rock.
No, yeah, if you look at this Stephanie thing, that's where it's going. It really is.
Yeah, but The Rock. But you did mention The Rock early on this podcast, so I mean, I heard the rumor that The Rock may come back versus Triple H.
No. The Rock. The only rumor I've heard about him was that he was going to be the ref at Survivor Series. Right. Possibly, but John Cena is going to be taking that role.
Ah, wow! I know John Cena is going to be out.
And then they're going to build up the Cena Mahal match here down the line.
Right. Well, I mean, what are your? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Now, as far as Raw's concerned, what are the matches that stood out, and what are the ones you did that did not stand out to you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that Kurt Angle does not know how to act. Either he's been out, he's been away from the camera I mean, he's been back since April, so I don't understand. Firstly, the guy was an amazing promo, as you remember, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's still an amazing worker, I believe, but you can't lose that. But gosh, he stutters, he stammers, he can't put a sentence together, he loses his train of thought. And now with the whole Daniel Bryan backstage thing was so cheesy. Yeah. The way he responded to Stephanie, he showed no it wasn't really believable, and I don't understand. Maybe he should practice his lines a bit more, or work on it, or maybe Vince has so much confidence in him that he thinks he doesn't need that. But yeah, just wanted to say that first off the bat.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
it could be the fact that he's not used to saying these. I mean, he's done movies before. I mean, he was in this type of role before back in 2004.
Yeah,
So
he was one of the top. He was up there for promos, and now the guy has trouble speaking. He really does, if you notice.
yeah, I mean, it could be the fact that maybe I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the
Maybe it
doubt.
has to do with his injuries and his concussions and his alcoholism since
It
he's
could
been
be
gone.
that. Is he still having those issues? Is he? Hello?
Having what?
Is he still having those issues?
Uh, if he is, I don't know, but I'm just calling it off what I see. That he's just not as comfortable anymore in front of the crowd. Actually, same goes for Shane McMahon. If you notice, he used to be oozing confidence out there, and now he messes up a lot.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? Maybe he's just, maybe he's, I don't know, man. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe personal issues are in play. So, I mean, I hope he can overcome it. Yeah, because I agree with you. Him stuttering all over the place, being lost, you looking down his head, fishing for his lines. That to me was like, okay, he's not in it tonight. He's probably not in it. I mean, everybody has their off nights. I get it, but I don't. We don't want to be too hard on him. But yeah, I think that whatever it is, it's an off night. Okay, we have next week. You got the road shows, so you can recover from that. It's like when you're an actor, you're performing at live theater. That's what wrestling is. Pro wrestling is, or the indie circuit. When you go in there, you try to perform in front of a crowd. It's like live theater. Sometimes have your off moments, but you can recover the next night. But sometimes when people look at those off moments, they're gonna criticize you. They're gonna hold that against you for a while. you know. So yeah, man, I hope he's all right. But let me give you my thoughts about Raw.
Oh, one
Raw.
more thing. One more thing
Go
about
ahead.
Raw. Um, so did you happen to catch the Kane Seth Rollins match at the end?
Yeah, I caught
Not
that.
just Kane. It was the tag match. Yeah. So
Mhm.
first of all, they completely messed up like two moves. I
Yeah,
think it's because of Kane's rust. Did you notice that?
yeah, I did notice that, and they had to edit that out a little bit. I've seen it.
And then secondly, Cole completely messed up the call. I don't know where he was paying attention to, but he was saying that Kane was the one that Rollins got Kane, but on camera what we saw was Kane was supposedly the one who caught Rollins while he was jumping off and smacked his head against the the outside mat, and then Kane got Rollins again, and he didn't connect. But you know how the commentators try to make you think that they did connect, but the wrong guy connected. Um,
Mhm.
anyway, they redid the move. I don't know if I'm making sense by saying it, verbalizing it, but it just didn't look good.
Nah, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's due to Kane's rust in the ring. I mean, he can't really. I mean, he's not as really fluid like he used to be. And let's not. I mean, come on, the man's 50 years old now, so
He is.
yeah, he's about to be 50. I mean, he's born in '67. He's about to be 50 years old this year, so he probably turned 50 already. So he's 50 years old. He hasn't been in the ring in a very long, long time. He's had other activities going on outside his life that he's more focused on. So I mean, that
Oh
makes
yeah,
him.
I mean that's a big thing. Although Rhino was doing that's wrestling and running for mayor, same thing.
Oh, that's true. I mean, look, everybody's different, but in most cases, this is the circumstances you see guys who's getting up in age.
Do you believe this is his swan song if he wins this election?
Yes, I think so. I
But
think
if he
so.
doesn't, I see him coming back.
No, if he doesn't, I think it'll still be his last hurrah. I mean, look, Kane, aka Glenn Jacobs, he's been more involved in the political infrastructure over the last few years. So he's going to be divesting more time into that.
Hmm.
So that's the way I see it. I could be wrong. he could probably come back to the company and work on the management side of things because that's what he's has some talents there. So, I mean, he's been in good graces with the company over the last 2 decades. So, yeah, I mean, he's he's gonna he'll be all right. But I don't see him in the ring at all after this. I really don't. So, anyhow, here's the one thing I gotta ask you about this. I mean, let's go through a couple matches here. Um, oh my goodness, should we talk about this one? Heath Slater and Rhino versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in a trick or street fight match.
It was a good bathroom break, right?
I mean, it had his moments, and he got the tables. I mean, whatnot. But these guys dressed up as Santa Clauses and elves, man. Come on, man. And they smashing pumpkins and itch each other's faces and whatnot. I mean, come on, man. Who wrote that in the script? I mean, if I'm
I think they had the same thing last year with those same guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why we got to have matches like that? This is stupid, man. You know, I just don't like that, man. I'm sorry.
That those pumpkins, that street fight, Luke Gallows, it was all, I don't know who they fought, but.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nah, man, no comment. I ain't going further on that match. I mean, yes, I think it was, Rhino and Heath Slater got the win. Yeah, so, I mean, come on. I don't want to. Let's not. Yeah, it was yeah, man. I don't like. No, let's move on. Ben Balor versus Cesaro. That was a damn good match. I like that match.
Oh yeah.
Damn good match. I think that was the match of the night. Yeah, I think that match. I mean, again, it's a Finn Balor match. You're gonna get a lot of fireworks and excitement in his matches. Same with Cesaro. It depends who you put him in the ring with. You know.
Speaking of fireworks, it's so weird how they don't have fireworks anymore, especially for Kane's entrance. It's just the sound now.
Yeah. I mean, sounds have been quite off, man. You know, I don't know, man. Production crew, they need got to figure out what they're doing, man. They got to figure out what's going on. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. Kalisto versus Drew Gallagher.
That singing, it was funny. It was funny. He's got some personality.
Yeah, it seems like Enzo. We were talking about him already. I mean, he's pretty much going. I mean, he's a heel now. Obviously, he's a heel. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the dude can draw heat either way, heel or face. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. Okay, I gotta say something about this. Very good match. I didn't like the ending. How the hell they gonna have Mickie James, a veteran, who was brought back, obviously to put the young women over? That's cool. You can put them over. That's fine. How the hell are they gonna have him get pinned clean after one punch, after a punch? How the hell they gonna have? How the hell Mickie they gonna do that to Mickie James?
That's pretty disrespectful, yeah.
I mean, look. I don't mind seeing her putting Alexa Bliss over. I mean, that was expected anyway. It'd been surprised if Mickie got the win. But still, though, to do her like that, to have her take a fall like that by a punch, clean like that against Alexa Bliss, what in the hell? No.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I did that.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Raw women's side right now.
Yeah, but still, though, man, it's worth pointing out. Come on, somebody's got to give her more respect than that, man. I mean, come on.
The whole old thing. She's not even that old, you know. I think Stephanie's older than her.
Well, Mickey's about 38 now, so she's about to be 40 soon.
Yeah, so Stephanie is
43.
Already 40.
Yeah, she's 43.
No, she's 40. 40.
Oh, really? I thought she was born. Oh, that's right. She's born 76, so she's about to be 41. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I just felt that. Why would you have her lose clean like that? That to me, that was a bit disrespectful to me. That's just my opinion. But anyhow, the show closed out with Braun Strowman coming back and attacking Miz and Miz.
It was also that garbage truck. It was so cheesy and cartoonish. I mean, I'm glad Strowman's back.
Right.
He's gonna do a lot, but they've done this before, you know.
Right.
Bringing him back after a few weeks and having him scream and yell and then turn over ambulances. It's a little cheesy.
Right. I know we skipped all the way to the end, but I forgot to mention a couple more matches. Let's see. What about Samoa Joe making his return against Apollo Crews?
Samoa Joe, did he have some work done on his nose? Because he looks a little bit different.
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of an operation. And I
Mm.
think, yeah, he came back and he actually turned heel. But still, though, people are gonna cheer for his ass either
I
way.
think he was already a heel. Wasn't he already
He
a
was
heel?
already ill. He was already ill, but he started to get face reactions when he was going up against
Oh yeah.
Brock Lesnar. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I wish they rematch again. That was a very good match. I think they should rematch that again.
It was a very good match. It was a very short match.
Yeah.
Um, it was definitely better than Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah. All
We
right.
know that firsthand, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, Braun Strowman, we just talked about him just a second ago. Braun Strowman, why? Here's what I don't understand. We went to No Mercy. We saw this match. One of the most disappointing
Oh yeah.
matches we've seen. I've seen. Let
Oh
me just
yeah.
say this.
The whole show was a disappointment.
That show was a disappointment. I agree with you, man. That show was disappointing. I mean, the match of the night was Rollins and Ambrose versus what's his name, Sheamus and Cesaro. That was the match of the night. That stole the show, obviously.
Of course,
The women's, the women's
Cesaro
is
is still suffering the scars of that one.
yeah. I mean, the women's match was okay. I mean, just all the other matches were kind of a bit of a letdown. I mean, actually, Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt was a good match. So, I mean, you can't take anything away from that.
Mhm.
But anyhow, Braun Strowman. Here's what some of my buddies brought this up, man. Braun Strowman is being built as a monster. Why is he being? Why has he been written to lose cleanly to guys like Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar? That makes no sense. If he's being built as a
To
monster,
to make because those two are going to clash. So Vince wants those two to be the indestructible forces.
wow. Hmm.
And even the ratings in the new video game, Roman Reigns has a higher one than Strowman.
Okay, but still, if you're gonna build the guy as a monster, why are you gonna have him lose clean like that after every big match? That makes no sense.
To sacrifice him for, yeah, I don't think it's right either. But that's what Vince's mindset is. He wants these two guys who are going to be the main event of WrestleMania, which is not that exciting because it's kind of happened before.
Right.
To be the top guys bar none, really.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, absolutely. But still, though, I don't like it. That's just not. That's just the wrong way of packaging a monster, man. A monster heel or a monster face, whatever you want to call them. But nah, man. I just don't like the direction they're going with the guy. In some ways, I don't like it. But anyways, Nia Jax comes back after all the rumors and the speculation why she left. I mean, that was quick of a quick of a leave of absence. We all know she left for certain reasons. We all thought she was going to get released, but she came back and she pretty much squashed Bailey. I mean, this was a pretty bad match. Pretty bad match. I mean, there was
Yeah,
a couple of botches here and there, but anyhow, it seems like Alicia Fox is actually getting a big push again because her and Bailey. It seems like her and Bailey's going to have a program with each other. I mean, I think
I don't
Alicia
know about
Fox.
big push, but
Yeah, not a big push, but somewhat of a push. But Nia, I mean, anyhow, I mean, we don't want to talk too much about the match. It was not too much. I mean, the crowd wasn't really too much into it. But overall, how do you rate Raw? What grade do you give it?
ooh,
Yeah,
well, maybe a 5 or 6.
the scale from 1 to 10 to 5 to 6. I
Yeah,
agree with you on that. I'd probably give it a 6.
that sounds about right. But what
Yeah,
I'm really excited about, what I wanted to bring up for a second here, the 25th anniversary of Raw. Have you heard of this one?
yeah. The Undertaker's returning, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to be from 2 locations.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to have Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, The Undertaker. I expect to see more. I expect to see Ric Flair there. And
Hulk Hogan.
no, I don't expect to see him there.
Oh.
But he wasn't really on the first Raw. But anyway, The Undertaker. Yeah, that's so. Just the fact that he's going to be there is going to answer a lot of questions. It's the go home show to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Um, and we're kind of going to know, is this a
Right.
one-off appearance? Is he going to wrestle again? Something tells me he was going to get back in that ring. Otherwise, he wouldn't be returning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, man. I look. If the Undertaker's got to wrestle again, I'm about to protest that. The man should not be wrestling anymore. Give it up,
No,
Taker.
no.
I respect you, man. I admire you,
But
but
it's a big payday for one match a year.
I mean, hey, it's a big payday. That's fine, but still, though, the morality of it, man. Come on, man. Besides Taker, I think he's going to get. Excuse me. I think he's going to get inducted to the Hall of Fame this year, man. What do you think? Or next year? I'm
If
sorry,
the
next year.
if the retirement is for sure, I don't think it is. So if it's
Okay.
not, then I wouldn't see him as an active inductee. Although I could be wrong, but I did hear some rumblings about Batista being the main guy in this year's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You always have to have that main attraction, right?
Yeah, you got to have that main attraction. Maybe Batista would be suitable. Maybe Goldberg. Well, Goldberg say he's going to come back, but I'm
And
not
maybe
sure when he's going
Undertaker.
to. Yeah.
But it's just interesting. I mean, him being there, he's not much of a talker.
Right.
I kind of don't see the Undertaker being on Raw just to be there, you know.
Right, right. I understand what you're saying, but it's fine that he comes back for the 25th anniversary, but to wrestle, nah. Unless he can get himself in shape, I mean, he don't. I mean, even if he gets himself in shape, he's gonna look pretty bad, man. I don't know, man. I don't like it. He looks pretty terrible the last few matches I've seen him.
We'll definitely find out. We'll definitely find
Yeah,
out.
we'll definitely find out about it. But let's move on to SmackDown. I know you watched the show. I'll give your thoughts on it.
I
Uh,
did. I did.
yeah, Bobby Roode. I did see Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Damn good match. Bobby Roode won it. But the one thing I gotta say is though, Bobby Roode as a face, man, Jesus Christ, I don't like it. Him as a
Well,
face, I'm
but look at it from the other perspective. It'll be that much more shocking and more powerful when he turns heel because you're gonna get to get used to him as a face, and then he's gonna be that much more dastardly of a heel.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just don't buy him as a face. He's very good as a heel, man. He's so good at it. I mean, one time when I saw him on the mic, he was trying to entertain the crowd as a face, and to me, he seemed pretty lost or he confused. I don't know, man. This is something he's not used to.
Well, I think the crowd kind of made him a face. I think the crowd kind of made him a face. Don't you
Well,
agree
I
with
mean, the
that?
crowd's going to be receptive to him anyway, even as he's a heel. But still, though, as a face, it's kind of like Brock Lesnar was a face. Back in 2003, they tried to make him a face. That didn't look right to me.
And he's going to be a face coming up here against Jinder Mahal, I think.
Yeah, that's true. United States against the Middle East, India, La Mara, Jinder Mahal. Yeah, but
right.
Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that well, they're pushing Sin Cara. I don't know why. I don't understand why they're pushing him again. Something's there must be a reason for it.
Yeah. First of all, we all know that Sin Cara has been pushed. They were trying to get him to be. They were trying to push him to be the next Rey Mysterio. Of course, that didn't.
Well, that was when it was another guy.
Yeah, and Kalisto too. But of course, those guys can't get over like Rey Mysterio did. So they can try all they want to, but it's like nobody can beat Rey Mysterio. Nobody. You know. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Rey Mysterio. I know he wasn't quite good at the mic, but he actually drew. He actually, he was actually got over with the crowd all the time. So it is what it is. All righty, AJ Styles versus Shamir Singh with with Jinder Mahal.
Not much of a match really.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was a Jinder Mahal promo. Are you going to be watching this or?
Am I going to watch it?
Yeah.
Now or?
Well, will you be watching SmackDown or you're just reading the results?
No. I'm not reading the results. I'm telling you. I'm just looking at the matches.
Oh yeah. Are you going to be watching it?
Yeah, I'll be going reviewing it again. I just want to give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, Jinder cut a pretty good promo, saying that he is because Paul Heyman kind of put him down on Raw in his promo, and Paul Heyman doesn't usually do that. He usually kind of builds guys up so they look like a viable challenge for Lesnar, but he really put him down there. Paul Heyman making him look bad and sound like no threat. And of course, we all know Lesnar's gonna win this, but it's just his promo skills. Ginger's are good, and
Yeah.
he made a good comeback at Paul Heyman, and and I think AJ Styles is getting that title shot, or he's
Right.
gonna wrestle for a title shot next week
Oh, that's
against
yeah.
against
Jinder Mahal.
no, for the shot at Jinder Mahal.
Oh,
He's gonna be wrestling someone next week. Slips my mind
oh,
who, but
oh, he's gonna become the number one contender, right? And that was against,
he
I guess.
probably will become the number one contender and get
Yeah.
a shot. So there's like two feuds. There's stuff that doesn't make sense to me because um, some of these guys are feuding with each other on the show,
Right.
and and then they're friends because they're on the same team
Yeah,
at
that's what. This is
Survivor
why.
Series.
Right. This is why I don't like this. It's like, what's the point of this concept? I mean, I can understand, like I told you, as I said at the top of the show, I can understand they were going to go this direction after what 3 or 4 years after the brand split, like they did a few years ago when they did the brand split back in 2002, and then 2005 they had the brands clash with each other, so that made more sense. You know what I mean? Because we got to see dream matches that we never thought we would see. You know, like Shawn Michaels versus Rey Mysterio. Nobody thought we would ever seen that match. You know what I mean? That happened.
No,
So, just give you my scenario. But like right now, it's like a year after the brand split. Why would you go through this direction? We already seen these people wrestle with each other. You know, except for a couple like Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal. So,
not too excited about that one either.
no, not nobody's really too excited about it. I mean, Jinder's not really getting quite over with the people. I mean, he is to some degree, but I mean, Vince is going to go with the guy because India is a big market. They want to market him as a champion over there in India.
Oh yeah, Vince is a smart businessman for sure.
Yeah.
Ginger's not as bad as it sounds. I mean,
He's not a bad. No, no, no. He's not.
he's getting experience and he's gone a long way from where he was.
Right.
He works really hard, and I mean, he's earned what he has, but it's a secondary title, really. The SmackDown title's always been a secondary title, which is kind of sad because the WWE Championship has such a rich history,
It is.
and the Universal Championship doesn't have a history much. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyhow, let's move on to Rusev versus Big E. Actually, I seen this match. Oh man, too slow for me. I
it's
don't know.
it's a match that they're kind of similar sizes, and
Yeah.
they both. I like that Rusev's showing his comedic personality, and the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that he's not with Lana. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Daniel?
Well, that's a good question. We were talking about the latest the WWE cuts, the releases. They took action this week. The rumor has it too. I forgot to bring this up. Is that Rusev and Lana may be next in the next round of cuts. That's the rumor I heard, and I'm surprised they actually allowed they get Big E put Rusev over with the pin, allow him to pin, put him over. So I'm surprised about that. So
Well, the rumor was that Rusev had asked for his release,
right.
and obviously the rumor wasn't true, and that was that.
Yeah, but still, though, the rumor is now that they may be put on the list of being released due to the
Oh yeah.
fact. Yeah, it all stems to the fact that they both broke her and his real life girlfriend, Allie, Perry, which is Lana, aka Lana. She announced their engagement on Twitter and social media and showed off her ring. And I heard Vince and upper management were pissed about that. And I'm
That was
like,
so long ago. I mean, they're already married.
yeah, they are, and they put it on WWE Divas, Total Divas and all that. But I heard also that Rusev has always had backstage heat for a while now too. So, but at the same
Huh.
time, though, it's not as bad as someone made it out to be from what I've researched and observed. But what I will say is this though, the man deserved at least a title push, man. I don't know why they never gave him a title push, and it's sad to
Yeah,
me.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
It is not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening, but it is what it is. But I hope he doesn't get released. I mean, but from what I've heard, he could get released. That's what the rumor
I
is.
haven't heard. I haven't heard anything like that. But
Yeah.
it's good that he's on TV. A few months back he wasn't even there.
Right. Yeah, but other than
Um,
that, yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, look, essentially Nakamura versus Kevin Owens. I think this was a pretty good match. I think this was a very good match. So Nakamura.
again Nakamura is leaving a lot to be desired. I haven't seen that breakout instant classic that he's actually known for. And
Right.
he has wrestled a strong style, a rough style in Japan, and he's put his body through a lot actually, which is part of the reason I think he went to the U.S. and to WWE to kind of slow down. So maybe he has slowed down really, and he's being more careful, which is good.
Yeah.
We do remember that one week on SmackDown where they had that really dangerous spot that Nakamura messed up with Cena.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was scary. That looked scary.
That looked very scary when he did a German suplex and Cena landed on his neck when he did it. Ugh.
I think, yeah, and Cena was really forgiving for that, and it was okay. But luckily, everything turned out okay. But
Yeah,
he
luckily.
does Nakamura. He does have that charisma. He does have that entrance. He does have that mystique about him. And maybe they're focused more on that than
Yeah.
uh,
Well, if
than
you
than getting that crazy match. But maybe maybe WrestleMania is the whenever he wrestles AJ, I think they're gonna pull something amazing off.
yeah, perhaps you're right. And luckily John Cena has wised up over the years. If this was the John Cena of 2005 and 2006, and you did that to him, yeah, he would have buried you. He really would have gotten you, just like
You
with.
think? You think?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, Randy Orton did that shit to what's his name, Mr. Kennedy. Remember that? That was almost the same style suplex,
Oh yeah.
but the difference is that Kennedy inadvertently did the suplex, and Orton landed on his what you call it, on his
Shoulder,
yeah, on his injured shoulder. Yeah, his injured shoulder. He got pissed.
collarbone.
Yeah, yeah. It was a side suplex. It was a German suplex. So he was visibly mad too because you could see he was upset. He had gestured at Ken Kennedy, and he broke character a little bit, and then he went back to character after taking that suplex and selling it. At first, he didn't really sell it, and then he sold it afterwards. He got mad at
Oh
him and
yeah.
he threw his hand at Kennedy like, "You motherfucker!" Of course,
The
they
good
said
old
that.
days.
Yeah, the good old days, and they said that's what cost Kennedy his employment based off that right there.
Speaking of Orton appeared in this match.
Yeah,
He attacked Kevin Owens, I believe, or Sami Zayn. He attacked Sami Zayn,
yeah, he did.
um, and he he's going to be part of the Survivor Series team. So what do you think about Survivor Series? Really quick before we go,
Yeah.
what do you think about Survivor Series? And moving forward, what are your thoughts? And what are
Um,
your thoughts on this show as well? By the way,
I thought it was a good show. I think it was better than Raw. I'll tell you that. It was better than Raw.
it was
So
shorter. It was definitely
it was
shorter.
shorter. It was definitely a shorter show, but definitely better than Raw. So I definitely give it a. If I scored it from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it maybe a 7.5 or an 8.
And it actually got low ratings because of Halloween. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of good wrestling on that show.
Well, SmackDown's always been known as the show with all the major talent and well, not say talent, but a lot of good matches, man. It's like everybody meshed very well with their chemistry on that show.
Oh
Everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Raw just can't. They just can't figure it out on Raw. I don't know what's going on, on Raw. They just can't figure it out. So, I mean, other than that, yeah, I love SmackDown. That's probably my favorite show on the favorite brand of the company. Yeah. Now, as far as the Survivor Series is concerned, as far as the matches they've already announced, where I know about Brett Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, and we already know that Rollins versus the Usos and Rollins and Ambrose versus the Usos, where battle of the tag teams, and then Miz versus Baron Corbin. Okay, whatever. I don't know about that one.
They're
And
both heels.
they're both heels. This is what I'm talking about. None of this makes any sense to me. I mean, then you
Yeah,
got
they could have. They're probably going to leave that one for the pre-show.
probably, yeah, they're gonna put that one on the pre-show because of the way they've treated Baron Corbin, the way they punished him over the last couple months or so. Yeah, they're putting him
Hmm.
on the pre-show along with the Miz. I mean, let's be honest, the Miz doesn't deserve to be on the pre-show anymore. The man worked his ass off. He's very committed to the company over the years.
And he doesn't complain, and he does not complain about these things.
He does not complain. He does everything they want him to do, and they still find it's like Triple H finds a
Well,
way.
if he was on SmackDown, it'd be a different story right now. He could be their world champion, really.
Yeah, he definitely could be their world champion. And I think people will buy it. I mean, when he was their world
On
champion
SmackDown,
before,
not on Raw though. Not on Raw. Raw is
well,
more where the big guys are.
but when he was a world champion, he actually drew the crowds, man. People hated his ass, man, when he was a
Oh
champion.
yeah, and he's really grown since then too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he has grown over the years. I think they need to give him a world title push again, man. He deserves it, you know. So
I think they need to move him to SmackDown because he was doing really well on that show, as you remember.
yeah, he was. He was. Yeah, they definitely need to move him back. If they need another heel, if Jinder Mahal, they want to go ahead and say, okay, it's time to wind this down with Jinder Mahal. If they need another heel, yes, you got Kevin Owens, but I definitely think Miz will fit the bill. I think he will. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think he
yeah.
will. So now, other than that, I mean, we are talking about the women's champion versus champion, Alexa Bliss versus what's her name, Natalia. I mean, look, I'm not gonna go into that one. I mean, it's kind of kind of predictable, but I mean, Survivor Series overall. Look, I mean, the show could prove me wrong. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a chance. I'm not gonna be quite. I'm not gonna quite condemn it as of yet. But to me, I just don't like this idea of the brand versus brand. They could have waited a few years till they made this happen. You
Hmm.
know, that would have caught everyone surprised. But now it's like a year after the brand split, and they all of a sudden they're doing this now. That makes no sense. This is just my take on it. You know, so
Well,
yeah,
it's been a while since they first did this brand split. A little bit over a year, but
yeah,
uh, it's interesting. It's interesting to see it. At least the teams, not maybe not so much the singles matches. Um, it's kind of like bragging rights used to be. That's kind of
yeah,
how it is.
yeah,
Um, so Kurt Angle back in the ring, another team match.
yeah.
Obviously, he's been cleared to wrestle, but uh, why always teams? Why always are they trying to protect him? Why are they always putting him in teams?
I don't know. I think to protect him because he probably can't really go full throttle as a singles competitor.
He could, but they're saving it for something
Yeah,
special.
perhaps. But I mean, can he wrestle a 15, 20, 30 minute match? Can he do that these days?
Oh yeah, he's been out there on the indies before he came back.
Okay.
He can do it. Maybe he can't do it against somebody like Brock Lesnar because um, Brock just wrestles such an aggressive style.
Right.
They wouldn't put him in that situation, but I think Kurt could hold his own against a lot of the guys. I mean, look at Matt Hardy. The
Yeah.
guy's so out of shape.
Oh yeah.
The guy's so slow, and he's out there.
Yeah.
They're putting him out. Kurt is in better shape than that.
Oh yeah. Kurt's way better shape. I mean, he stays in the gym. Kurt stays in the gym. He lives in the gym, despite his issues. But he still stays in the gym. He still finds a way to stay in shape. You know.
Even the way
And
Kurt walks, I mean, something's wrong with his neck and his back. You could tell, um, but yeah, great shape. Knows what he's doing in that ring, and they're trying to be safe. That's what they're trying to do.
yeah, because the man is 50 years old. They don't want to have another Sting incident. You know what I
Is he
mean?
50 years old?
Yeah, Kurt's 50. Yeah, he's
He's
50.
50?
Yeah, he's 50.
No,
Yeah,
I
he's
think
5
Kurt is a little bit. I think he's a little younger than that.
Nah, he's 50 years old, man. Take a look. He's 50 years old.
And what about Goldberg? That guy's also 50, right?
Oh yeah, he's over 50. He's like 51.
Really?
Yeah, he's 51. Yeah,
Bill Goldberg.
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Kurt is actually He's 48 actually, so he's close to 50. He's close.
Yeah, yeah. I knew he wasn't 50 yet.
Okay, he's close. He's got a couple more years to go.
He does. He does.
He got a couple more years to go, but yeah. Anyhow, man. So yeah, what do you think about SmackDown overall?
Oh, maybe a 7. Yeah.
Okay, reasonable score. Better than Raw.
I mean, I liked Raw because there were so many returns, and it's just too long. And I know that 3 hour thing is not going to change
Well, that's all
anytime
Raw's good.
soon.
Yeah, that's what all Raw's good for is surprising returns. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up here, man. Good discussion, good conversation. Good live
Yeah.
hangout. So everybody, until next time, we are gonna be doing this every week on Fridays. This is
Yeah.
Beyond the Kayfabe Beyond the Kayfabe YouTube channel.
Beyond
Uh,
the kayfabe free for all. We're gonna
There
rename
you
it.
go. We're gonna have to rename it now. Beyond the Kayfabe Free for All. So what I'll be also doing as well is, or me and LES, we're gonna be uploading a couple videos now and then to give some breaking news or anything like that. Then on Fridays, as I mentioned, we'll be covering the whole. We'll be covering the Raw SmackDown shows and whatever latest news that comes up in between that time. So until then,
And please contribute to the chat. I
yes.
still need Daniel to teach me how to use that chat, but I'd like to live chat with you guys during these
Yes,
discussions, during the
absolutely.
live discussions.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a trial show. This is our first episode. We're definitely going to have more episodes down the road, believe me, along with some uploads. The chat will be lit. I promise you that. So those after this hangout concludes, you are welcome to comment on that. We will definitely respond to you in your comment section below after this hangout concludes. But other than that, until then, we are out. Take care, everybody.
All right. See you next time, guys.
See you next time.